Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Fix This Build That Sunday Night Live show. I'm Brad.
And I'm Susan.
And here we are at 8:30.
Yay.
Pretty much on time.
Yeah.
8:30-ish. So, welcome everybody. Hope you guys. Put
we
this
don't
on.
have lights on.
You know what?
Oops.
We
Whoopsie.
knew something was going wrong.
Right. We got it out of the way.
All right. Welcome to the show. If you guys, and happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend.
Tomorrow, right?
Labor Day weekend, yeah.
Labor Day weekend.
I hope everybody is doing well, and we just launched a video. So if you've not seen it yet, we launched a video on some garage wall storage. I did some slat walls with some custom hangers, and it was kind of like the last bastion of square footage in this garage that had not done something to, well, something somewhat organized. Like I kind of had done something to it before, but now we went with like a slat wall system. So you'll just have to check it out to see all about it. But it's nice. It's holding a lot more than it used to, or all the same stuff. Plus now I have room for a lot more, I guess I should say. So we're super stoked about that. If you've not seen the video, go check it out. If you have, thank you for checking it out. I'm just situating all the windows here so I can see everybody in the chat. But before we get started in the chat, we have a few folks who joined the Builders Club. We want to thank them. So do that before we jump in. Right. We had Terri Woolf, Jaga.
I think it's his
We're going Jaga?
Yeah, Jaga.
Jaga.
That's his name.
Julie Varieur.
Varieur.
Apple Pie.
Apple
nice
Pie.
And easy. And David Steele. So thank you so much to those folks for joining. If you're not familiar with the Builders Club, it's basically the inner circle of the Fix This Build That audience. They get sneak peeks to videos, they get free plans, they get shout outs in the lives as well as credits in the video. So thank you to all those who have joined. If you're interested, you can check it out at fixthisbuildthat.com/Builders Club. And thank you to all the Builders Club members who are here today. Speaking of, let's jump in and see who is here. All right, who do we have? Let me scroll back up. Okay, I guess it's at the top. Joseph Tannerites. What's up, Joseph? We got Big Will in the house.
Really?
Pat Cavanaugh. What's up, Pat? Stan Powell. Alan Isaac. Travis Porter. Mark DeMaker. Katie's in the house. James is in the house. James McIntyre. Brian Farnth. Mr. Orem. Dad It Yourself DIY. And Chris Benetto. What is up?
Hey. You're just reading all the names and like.
I'm
howdy.
Greeting people. So it's this feels a little strange because I still actually haven't put the CNC back. So where I did the garage wall was right behind the CNC. And so I obviously moved that out of the way to do all that stuff. So I haven't even really seen how it's going to work with the CNC back in place. But I used to have, I had stuff hanging on that wall before. So, I mean, it should be fine. But anyway, the CNC is right behind you guys, and so I had moved the bench back. I kind of like it though. It's kind of cozy.
I think it looks better on the screen.
It's kind of
Maybe.
Does.
I don't know.
a
You
little
all can
tighter.
tell us what you think.
Well, you can't see the wood as much, but
right. But it's more like framed out with the cabinets.
But I feel like there's a lot more open space there.
It just feels closer.
It kind of feels. I'm just talking like this over here. It feels kind of nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about all the time.
I was saying I moved it, but I was just talking about like I kind of like it.
Like, but having this table here normally.
Maybe.
I don't see that happening. I'm just going to say it. There's too many drawers and doors and bending and reaching. You can dream,
less bending, less reaching.
I mean,
there's still walkway.
You could move it this way. That might help too.
Look at that. I mean, just look how much open space
every time there's ever any
so much
open
room for activities.
In the middle, you get all excited.
Speaking of activities, beer of the week. Beer of the week. This is called Lazy Beer of the Week. I didn't change the slide, so I grabbed the same beer.
That's right, and we still have it.
And this is Chicken Scratch American Pilsner from Little Harpeth Brewing.
Right down the road.
Right down the road. Grew up across the street
down
from the Little Harpeth River.
Yeah.
Still good.
Yep. I know, I was thinking we should go kayaking or canoeing this weekend. But it's like, it would have been okay, but it's like mild here finally.
It's like kind of almost a little chilly.
Yeah.
Just a little chilly. All right, here we go. What else we have? Yes, we were a bit quiet. Got our mics going.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Let's see here. Creeker Dudes, what's up, man?
Hey.
Can't comment much tonight. Working on the bathroom remodel.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Feel ya.
I
remember when we did Macy's bathroom. Oh, jeez.
That was a thing.
It looks beautiful, but when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago, by the way.
I know.
We had those.
remember.
We had like a.
But we've done more
the nice
since
thing for
then.
like not as much Facebook, but we use Google Photos, and so they always
Yeah.
do like memories. So it's like
Right.
3 years ago
3 years
today. Here's what you're
ago.
doing 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, good
12 years
Lord.
ago today was our oldest's first birthday party. I got served up some memories this morning.
Very
And I
nice.
was like, oh, that makes sense. He's about to turn 13.
It does.
Flies by.
And Scott is still working on the backsplash. Scott, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
You're,
Hopefully it's
It's like
like,
the trial tribulation.
or it's just a masterpiece, which takes time because,
Oh, yeah. It seemed there's some wife issues there.
what?
He had to redo some stuff to meet the standards
So
of
it's
the
a
lady.
masterpiece because she's like, no, that doesn't look right.
I love
or
it.
We want it different now.
I love it.
You know, at the end of the day, it's going to be exactly the way you guys want, and you'll love it.
I still got the beer of the week on there, by the way.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so it's
I
still
thought
beer
that
of the
was
week.
on purpose.
It's all good. It's beer of the week the whole week.
I have water of the week.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stir water. It's delish.
It's delish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. Fun. So,
fun.
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 Some more hazy. Those
Sorry, what's hazy,
hazies were
hazy?
good. Scott was talking about the Elysian
Oh, yeah.
hazies. They were.
All the Elysian stuff was really good.
They were.
Plus,
They were.
it's fun to say.
It is.
Elysian.
Let's see here. Big Will. When I worked a full-time job and did woodworking, what did I do to get motivated when my day job got hectic?
Thought about how much he hated his day job. Now, what did you do?
It depends upon.
Oh,
it
man.
depends upon a couple things. Will, it depends upon like how you're talking about that, because I think how it started, at least somewhat in the beginning, was it was an escape, right? So I didn't need the motivation. That was
Right.
the escape. Woodworking was the escape from the day job, and so I think that's how a lot of people started. It's a hobby.
Right, and
You
even
really enjoy it. You get out there. You're working with your hands, and you just forget about work.
and there was a season there when our kids, because we had 3 kids in 3.5 years, where Brad was not physically woodworking a lot, but you were like escaping into the woodworking magazines, you know, like, and so it was still,
Yeah.
it was all kind of research and
So
development.
that was, from that perspective, I really didn't need any motivation because I was just like, oh my gosh, like I want to get out there and build something awesome.
Right.
And so,
Nice.
thank you. And so it kind of went like that. And then as I started picking up as a business, it became, and so like to the flip side of that, I think the more I got stressed at work, the more I would want to get out and build. But when it started becoming a job, then then it's kind of like pressure on both ends. You're burning both ends of the candle, and so it's like, like work's like crazy, and then this job's crazy. But it was like this pool of like, well, if I work really hard
Right.
and make this thing work, YouTube, and at the time it was just blog and Instagram. If I make this blog and Instagram thing work, then I can get rid of that stress and not have to ever deal with that again. So like
Right.
that was the motivator. The motivator was, this really sucks, and so I don't want to do this anymore. So let's like make this thing work, which is woodworking. And at that time, the very beginning, it was like selling cutting boards
Right.
and selling like small projects and stuff
Right.
like that.
Making
that
coasters.
coasters and little desks and things that I was making for people.
Yeah.
And then it quickly turned into content after that.
And I'm going to jump in there and say...
Jump on in.
I know. I would say 2 things to that, though. Hopefully I remember them both. We'll see. But
Great. Number one.
number one...
Number dose.
Anyway, your work, it would get stressful at work, but you did not, even in corporate America, you did not normally have to bring home a lot. Like, because I know
I
some
would
people...
stay late. I wouldn't bring home a lot.
Right, but like you would, like it was not a regular thing in that job where like I think about my brother-in-law sometimes where like he gets swamped at work and he's like, I feel like he's working longer hours maybe. So if you have the type of job where you get like overwhelmed at work and like you have to work at night, we didn't really have as much of that. There was some, but not as much.
Yeah,
And
I
that's a
could
big
pretty
difference.
much, I pretty much left work at work, but
Yeah.
I would stay, there was times where I'd stay until
yeah.
7 or 8 at night.
Plus you had the commute. Like there were definitely times, like
Plus
if
there's
he
an
ever
hour
got home
commute.
before 6, I felt like he was getting home early.
Right.
And he left early in the
Yeah.
morning. So
So-
they were long days.
But when I left, I left, which was
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Unless it was like just some, texting or something.
Right. And then the other thing I was going to say, was that it wasn't, I mean, we also set smaller goals. It wasn't like when you first started doing woodworking, like, you'd always been doing woodworking and you were doing it as a hobby. And then it kind of all evolved. It all did evolve very naturally. Like he got on Instagram and met like community of woodworkers and got connected and like, we should do a blog. And it was all kind of organic. But like when we started having conversations about Brad leaving his job and being able to, live that way as a family, we had goals along the way that would help us get there. It wasn't like, boom, that's just going to happen.
Oh, no.
And they were long term.
I just flicked the switch. It was easy.
It was like 2.5 years.
Mark says he's working on a tufted titmouse wood carving.
What? I'm sorry, what?
I just told you. A tufted titmouse wood carving.
Is that a type of mouse?
I'm assuming it is.
I heard tufted, and I was like thinking of a piece of furniture.
And he's stuffing
it threw me
ottoman with mice.
Seems like a bad idea. Wow, that's it. That's very interesting. I would love to see a picture of this.
Yes, Mark, we need some pictures of this.
It's
That
a
sounds
unique one.
quite interesting. Sarah Will says he's running behind on so many things because he's been going hard 7 days a week. Yep, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of the life
Oh gosh.
of the side hustle, if you will.
We've been working all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I would put in easy 80, 90 hours a week.
Oh yeah.
For years,
Well,
and I still do.
Well,
at
it's
least
better
mentally.
now. It's better now. We hit seasons now, or points
Right.
where we're like overwhelmed and busy, and we just work, and then there's other times when it's better. But that's the other thing I was going to say about Brad is you were very determined, and like, I mean, he will just grind it out. Like, I mean, he was not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
The kids were
I'm all
little.
about the grind.
That helped. But seriously, like, I mean, I think that's like an underappreciated quality, because I mean, there was like I swear there was a literal year where we would maybe watched 2 movies together all year.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he just, if it was the evening or the weekend,
I was out here.
or he'd be like, get some time with the kids and then go out to the shop.
It's really interesting. So just to kind of parlay on that a bit, is that I feel like the last like couple years, 2-3 years, this like hustle culture was like really strong. It was like Gary V. Like, you gotta grind your face off and work. And if you're not just like working like crazy, then you suck and you're not gonna make it. But what's interesting is like I think since COVID too, is I think there's been this resurgence in like mental health.
Oh,
and
there
like,
definitely has been.
Like I think the grind culture, the hustle culture, it's definitely not as sexy anymore. And so it's more like, all right, like
It's all about self-care now.
it's about self-care and do smart work instead of just like work to work.
Right.
So that's actually been kind of interesting.
And don't be a hero. Don't be like sacrificing yourself at any job, like sacrificing your mental health over getting the job done, which is it's a good thought,
Whatever. I mean, you got to grind your face off if you want to make it, in my
I
opinion.
mean,
and then once you make it, then you can back off.
Right, that's true.
All right, JC, what is up? What is up? How you doing? Katie Lockridge says, Get the Motivator was woodworking, but when was that aha moment that I realized it could be viable?
Oh,
Did I
gosh.
just take the chance?
When was that? You
I
still
think
blogging or reading the video?
Oh no, I was blogging at the time.
Okay.
It was when companies started offering me free product and then actually paying me. I mean, that's obviously like, oh, people actually pay me. So the first blog post I ever did, I made $200 on, and I was like,
this is very sweet.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I know $200 isn't gonna feed the family or anything, but
I mean, it would.
was just,
but not a lot.
But it's the moment that like,
Right.
oh, we can make something out of this. And so I
Right.
think that was when I made my first, when I was offered, and it wasn't like I was hustling either. It came to me.
Right.
And so it was different back then. There weren't as many people, and so like today, like everybody's trying to be an influencer and everybody wants to get paid and all this stuff. But
And
back
all
then
these
it
little
wasn't.
companies will be like, hey, we want to.
Right. It wasn't
your
as
stuff
big of a
and-
thing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, I was like, oh my gosh, you can actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
JP, what's up, dude? Got here before the live was over. There you go. Good
All
job.
right.
Welcome. I know we're starting at 8:30, so we were just talking about the timing, and we might roll that back even into the week like we talked about. We're thinking about Tuesdays, so I'm just floating that out there. I don't know if we're gonna do it quite yet, but we might try like a Tuesday,
like
2
11?
o'clock. Not even 2.
I
2's
can't
too
do
early
2.
or too late. I mean,
We have time.
Yeah.
limitations.
I don't know. 11?
Right before lunch?
Whatever time you guys can sneak away at lunch and watch.
Right. Yeah, we don't know, but we're just thinking like for our family life, that would be better.
And plus with holidays and everything, some days it's not just...
Like people are probably
it's
traveling
turning into
right
not
now.
a good time, but...
Whatever. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll give you a heads up for sure.
We will.
Nothing has been decided.
All right, let's see here. JP just finished his miter saw video edit. The longest video he's ever done. All right, hope that goes well for you, my man.
Good.
All these countries trying to work 4 days a week. I know, yeah. I know, Brian. Yeah, I know. When we used to work, when I used to work in corporate, we would do business with some companies that were like European, or I'd have friends, or we had affiliates that weren't, not affiliates, but like subsidiaries or people that were overseas, and especially in Europe, it was like mandatory 6 weeks vacation. They're like, no, you're on holiday, like you can't.
It's like Sweden.
Versus right.
In the summer, no one's there, like working.
Yeah, and so it's very
traveling.
America is always been that hustle culture.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, I don't think it's
up by the bootstraps.
I don't think it's bad. I mean, I think it's like that's what got me to where I am. And I think that if you want to make it, that's the beauty of it. I think the beauty of the hustle culture is that if you do put that work in, it'll pay off eventually. I mean, if you're doing the right work,
right.
At the right time, then it'll work. Like if you're just banging your face against the wall doing stuff that is not, that people don't want, then obviously that's not going to work. But I truly believe that anybody can make it in whatever you want to do if you put enough time and effort into it. And you might have to hustle for 3 to 5 years, but eventually it'll click and snap. Again, it's about doing the right things though, right? You have to know what you're doing and don't just keep doing something that is not working.
When it's about making adjustments, which is what you're saying, right? Yeah. Like being able to look and go, okay, this isn't working, and then connecting with other people that are kind of in the same area doing things. Because that's been one of the biggest things for you, I would say, is that you have friends now that you met.
I finally have friends.
That's not what I meant. I mean, like, you have grown these friendships over the years, like other woodworkers and other creators and like all different types of people that Brad has met through blogging and the channel, and then and that had made a big difference. Like just being able to like bounce ideas off of each other and not feeling alone doing it.
A community around you to support is great. All right,
again,
what else do we have here?
Happens.
Just not Thursdays, JP says.
Well, that's good. I don't think Thursdays was on the...
Beth is in the house.
Hey,
All
Beth.
Right, what's up, Beth? And David Parseth. How's it going, David? Cool. Chris K.
I just got back
at the
from
start,
Austin.
Did you find the selling/marketing of projects was harder, or the business side of things, taxes and everything? Chris, the business side came really natural to me because I have a master's in business. And I've worked in corporate America. I worked in corporate America for 13 years at that point, eventually 17 years total. So I've got a strong business background. And so like that stuff just made sense to me. And I'm a numbers guy anyway. I'm a math guy,
he likes
engineer.
Math and
so,
money and
if I took like 3 more courses in college, I could have had like an undergraduate in mathematics.
Really?
I think so. That's
I
what
didn't
they told
know
us.
that. That's really impressive.
So,
I mean, I knew you were good at
It's
math,
really
but
stupid.
geez. Well, no, one of my good friends in college was a math major, and he'd be like, oh, not to sidetrack this, but he'd be like, yeah, I have homework, and it's like 2 math problems. I'm like, really? Well, let's go out. And then he'd be like, no, like this will take me the whole weekend because they were so hard.
Yeah, so nothing like that. But
okay.
But yeah.
You weren't doing this.
Anyway, the point being that for sure, like the sales and marketing side was more difficult for me just because of my background, because I didn't have background in the sales and marketing. I was always back-end engineering, back-end business, never forward customer facing. And that was actually one of the reasons that I moved from my first job, which was in operations, to my second job, which was in grocery, retail grocery, because I wanted to be closer to the customer and understand the customer experience and how you sell to a customer. So I actually I learned a lot. You'd be surprised, actually working in retail in any form or shape is actually very conducive to working in content, I think, because you understand how to work with customers, and you understand because all those people that are trying to sponsor the channel, those are almost always retail people. Like there's retail or services, right? So there's like services where they're, there might be something like a Skillshare or something like that, but there's all these other places like Woodcraft or Craig Jig, or like all these people that they are selling a retail product. And so me knowing exactly what that looks like on the back end of selling retail helps a lot, because I could talk about like I could talk to them about their planograms or their budgeting or like, what their marketing cap is and like all these things that you don't think about. So that's kind of a cool thing too, is like in your day job, see what things you can pull out to apply to your side hustle, because there's probably a lot.
Like some of those things.
Unless you're a teacher, then you're screwed. No, actually, but quite honestly, like, so let's just say even a teacher, like, so
a teacher can do this, people.
A teacher, right? Then you know how to teach. You know how to story tell. At least you know how to hopefully gain people's attention.
You're not horrible.
And how to present and things like that, because
you're comfortable speaking in front of people.
Right. So like,
in
almost anything, being a cashier at Kroger's or McDonald's, like same thing. Like you're talking to people all day. Like, so hopefully, you've learned how to interact with people, and that can transfer to camera. So I think you could take, as a woodworking or content, anytime you're trying to be in front of people and sell something, you can really pull things from other experiences.
So the question was something about selling the products. No, but like, so you were saying, you definitely said that the business side was easier.
Yes.
How was selling the products? We learned pretty quickly. We did not want to do
that's what I'm saying. It was harder, and so
selling, because there was no money. Well,
no, what I figured out real fast was that I didn't want to deal with customers. And
that is true, though.
But the bigger thing for me is that from a business perspective, I don't like selling, because after you've sold that table and you've spent the 40 hours making the table and you make the $3 or $5 grand or whatever, that's great, but then you're just done. Like, then you start over and you move on to the next project, and there's nothing residual. Whereas content, there's so much residual and passive income, and I'm making money on plans that I made back in 2015 that I've literally, like quite literally, have not done anything to in years, like multiple years.
And
I've revised things along the way, but like you can put it out there, and if you have a good digital product, it just can sit there and sell.
And that's without ads, and that's without us really even pushing them online either. Like that particular.
So there's a lot of power. That's why I got in. That's why I got in.
If you're interested in that type of thing, and you're not already listening to him, Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income is a great resource. He's got a great website, and then he has a really, really good podcast that you could check out. And that's more about like passive income in general, but.
All right. Any day, but Fridays. We can't compete with Mark and Nicole. We definitely won't.
Oh, they're on Fridays.
They're Fridays.
Yeah. No, we're thinking Tuesday.
Katie,
we thought
Tennessee
Monday,
is
but
Central.
What now?
So it is almost 9:00 here.
Oh yeah, well, our part of Tennessee is Central.
Yes.
Other parts are Eastern.
All right, Beth. I got back from Austin. I was trying to catch up on some things.
Fun. I've never been to Austin. I've heard it's really cool.
Animations in the UK, we get mandatory 28 days a year of vacation. Wow. That's kind of fun.
So it's just a European thing. That's neat.
JP,
that's cool.
Have you ever had odd companies email to try their products?
Oh, yes.
And the products are cheap.
Daily.
How do I handle that? I handle that like this. Delete. I get.
And some people are persistent.
I mean,
they will email you 4 or 5 follow-ups too.
Dozens a week. Yes.
I'm usually the one deleting those.
Here's an easy way that I do it. Whatever emails come in by the time I go to bed and the time I wake up, I almost always just delete them all, because it's all from overseas.
Oh, we get a lot of
because
things.
I go to bed at like midnight and wake up at like 8, so it's like, all right. And so they're always like from Russia or China.
We'll get things in Russian. Like, that's kind of a
and so I
dead
delete
giveaway.
Almost all of those.
It's a spam one. They're just sending it out to thousands of people.
And not so I don't want to like also sound like I just delete them all, but like
we're talking about the caliber of the thing.
That's what I'm saying though. Like in the beginning, I would like, and even like I would shoot them an email, but it's like it always ended up like, oh, we'll send you this $15 angle finder, right? Thing you've seen like a million times, for like a 5-minute video, and if you can do like 3 Instagram shout outs. It's like.
And that's it. You just get the angle thing. That's
right,
it.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't want to give any money. Or they're like, oh, well, we'll give you affiliate. We'll give you 3% of the set. And I'm like,
well, and typically the tool isn't great anyway.
Right.
So it's not something like we're only ever going to have things
sense.
on the channel that we believe in, and that doesn't mean that we are like above working on certain things. We wouldn't want to have a tool in the shop or have Brad talking about something that he didn't honestly think was a good idea.
Yeah.
So. A
Let's
lot of
see
them
here.
are Amazon sellers, like reselling.
We're getting some mutterings of an FTBT maker meetup.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about that.
We have.
But then now, right now,
well,
Tennessee
not right
is
now,
like the worst state in the country for COVID rates.
Don't come to Tennessee, please.
Maybe not right now.
Watching boxing and working on the laptop. Stan, nice. I haven't watched
Wow.
boxing in a long time. That would be so fun. A
meet
tufted titmouse is a small gray bird
Oh.
with a crest like
Why
a
do they
cardinal.
call it a mouse? A tufted titmouse.
Titmouse. It's not a mouse. It's a titmouse. Yeah.
I really am so curious about that name now.
You're going to
So
talk
it's a
about
bird,
Christmas
okay.
too. 111 days till Christmas.
Oh my
apparently.
gosh. I have started, okay, people, I have thought about this because I keep hearing on the news people talking about shipping and the problems there are and how, I haven't told you this even, like I was listening on NPR and they were talking about how like normally the shipping stuff for the holidays comes in around now, like on big containers from wherever. But people were ordering their stuff early, vendors were, because they knew like all these delays that were happening. And so now they're like clogged up at the ports, like they can't get there to unload. Bottom line, I would start shopping early for Christmas presents this year. I could be wrong. I just feel like if you want to order a certain thing,
You heard it from Susan
you
first.
might not get it in time. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I just already started thinking about getting presents.
I like it.
And I don't normally do that yet.
All right, let's see here. Brian, software salesman full-time. The non-residual and starting over is the worst part of selling. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. As a salesperson, I know that is the worst. We had a lot of people talking about being in front of the camera and getting comfortable.
Oh gosh, that took a little while. Right?
Oh yeah.
In the beginning, you can go back and watch early videos.
Oh, go, yeah, if you want to like have a laugh, go watch some early.
And I can't say anything.
2016, fix this, build that videos.
Oh. Whenever I actually have to be in video, like
Also
now on the
beardless and
oh, you look like
hatless.
baby face, yes. But like, I mean, I don't like. I'm sitting usually behind the camera when he's trying, like when he's like reading things or talking on screen, and I'll be like, okay, well, you need to say this, you need to say that. If I had to stand up there and say it, I would be. I guess I'd get better over time, but
you'd make it.
I mean,
You'd figure it out.
I don't know. It's
You'd figure it out.
I would figure it out, but it's a process, I'm sure. What else are the people saying? Because I can't read it from here. I need like a magnifying glass that I can hold up.
I know.
Or a closer screen.
Let's see here. Oh, he's talking about kind of like product placement in the UK was illegal until 2010. That's crazy.
Oh. Wow. So hang on, like TV shows and movies? They didn't like have
somebody was doing
a
a whole
big
thing
like
on that.
Diet Coke can as they were, you know what I mean?
It was a
like,
podcast or something that it was, or maybe it was a YouTube video, I can't recall, about like product placement and kind of like the double standard. It's really interesting. I was like, if I'm in a YouTube video and I'm drinking this and I'm like, yeah, hey, this is delicious, right? And
just like that.
and this is delicious.
Okay, keep going. What's the point?
Then I'd have to disclose that, and that they have like paid placement.
Right.
You have to disclose that as FTC
Like you received
guidelines.
something, yeah.
But in the movies and on the camera, like how many times do you see people? They don't ever disclose that.
No, they
like,
don't.
No. And so the way
But you
that
can
they say
tell
it,
sometimes it's so obvious.
but what they say, and it is, but and I don't know all the details of it, but basically what they say is like the expectation is that if you're watching a movie or a TV show that you know that everything is paid for.
No.
But I know, but that's the thing.
Not everything.
But that's the thing, but it is. And so,
Wow.
and then, but since the advent of the influencer and like kind of reality programming, where people are shooting their own stuff and it's not TV, that you have, because people don't know, there's such a blurred line between like, well, is this person like actually showing me what they're really doing, or are they just doing something because they got paid to do it? I don't agree with it at all.
That makes sense though. I mean,
but I think the burden should be the other way as well.
Right.
You know, like either
They should
hold us to the
list it
same
off.
standard
Right.
or don't. And so, yeah, they don't, you know, they don't have any of that stuff like paid placement by Coca-Cola, and they're like,
I will say,
Where's the can of Coke?
I follow some influencer people on Instagram, and you learn real quick. Like, I don't know, like this one girl. I sent you that dress last night. This lady was like, "Oh, I
Like
love
a-
it. It's
like a
so
Quaker.
It's so breezy, and I love the cutouts." And I saw this dress, and I was like, and it was in the stories on Instagram, and I was like, "Am I crazy? Is this the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life?" And I swiped up just to see $450, and it looked like a potato sack. Like, it was horrible. I'm like I must be really out of fashion, but like, so am I gonna go back and like look at her stuff and be like, oh, I'm gonna buy something from here?
Be like,
Probably not.
From you.
This is not my style.
Yes.
It was ugly.
All right, what else do we have here? Will just got a great deal on the WP Track Square and Parallel Guides, $400 for both shipped. What are the WP Track Square and Parallel Guides? Are those the blue ones? Are you talking about for the Festool? I don't know what a WP Track Square and Parallel Guide is.
It's a tool we need to know about. WP. I don't know what WP would be.
I've seen the blue. If you're talking about the ones for the, and because they're $400, that sounds pretty expensive for guides. So it kind of sounds like those blue ones that I would see for the Festool. I've seen those quite a few times. Jeff Baker, E.T. got it started with Reese's Pieces. That's right.
Yes. Oh, that's the OG right there.
Yes.
Reese's Pieces.
Sorry, woodpeckers.
And you can tell on shows and stuff when they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out to my car," and then they zoom in on like the front of the car. It's so obvious.
Yes.
But other than things like that, like if it was just like someone's house and the
Track
things
Square
in it,
and
I would not
Parallel
think
Guide.
of it.
Okay, I don't know what Track Square is for that. Let me tell you, woodpeckers makes awesome stuff. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I've kind of been hating on woodpeckers and like hating that they're so expensive. But again,
I mean, there's a reason it's expensive,
every single time
right?
I disparage the price, I always say they're amazing tools. But it's just like the price level for the size of the product. But I'm sure again they're amazing. And if you're woodworking for a business, and it's like, so what you're saying there, Track Square and Guides, 100%, because then like that is going to help you do things faster, and like a lot of squares and stuff, I don't know that they really speed you up. Like, I just don't know that it's the benefit is there for most people of like, oh, like this thing is so much more accurate and faster. Yes, probably. But when you say so much more accurate, like you're talking like thousands instead of.
Do you think that most of the people that are buying woodpeckers are more like, I do woodworking all the time, or it's my business? I mean, that's not like an entry-level tool, really.
I think that most people, and I don't know, you guys tell me, I think that most people who buy woodpeckers have always seen it and always wanted it, and it's like the Mercedes.
So it's an influencer thing, like
a bit,
it's
but
because they've seen it in people's shops, or what? Or they've seen it in catalogs.
Again, they're amazing tools. They are people who have money to spend on a hobby, and they want to buy the best stuff.
Well, this makes so much sense.
Because like a lot of, there's like so many, like Johnny, my buddy Johnny from Crafted Workshop, Johnny Brook, he's a good buddy of mine, and like he is all about like the uber high-end stuff. Whenever he gets into something, he wants like the best, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're into woodworking and you're like have disposable income, and a lot of dudes who woodwork are like old and they've got a lot of money, they got disposable income. And so they're like, 100%, give me that thing. That's the best. I want it.
Right.
And so,
but that's fine.
It is. I mean,
like,
listen, like it's a great business model. It's a fantastic business model. Like they've found, like, hey, we're going to make these like super premium things and sell them to people,
a premium price,
and people are going to like them.
But what I'm going to say is that it makes sense to me that it kind of rubs you the wrong way a little bit, because knowing you as I do,
because I'm cheap.
No.
Is what she's going for here.
No. Brad likes a good deal. Brad has always liked a good deal.
I would get woodpecker scratch and dent stuff all day long.
Okay, listen. That's not where I'm going. Brad likes a good deal. He's always liked a good deal. But I think also the idea that if someone is starting off in woodworking and they feel like they...
I want to be a word worker.
Let me finish my point. Sure, if someone's starting off... Because I think this is good. If someone's starting off in woodworking and they feel like they have to have it, that's what bothers you.
Yes.
Just because like you don't have to have it.
And that's probably the message I'm trying to share. Yes. Is like you don't need it.
Right.
To start off with.
Because that's
is
just
it
very
a fantastic, amazing tool? Yes.
Yes. But is it necessary? if you're just
necessary.
getting going.
No, definitely.
Now, if you have an extra X amount of dollars and you don't mind spending it and
wanna,
you're starting,
yeah, you want to
sure.
like make it
But if
rain, or
you're
like for gifts, if people want to buy you stuff and you're like, what do you want?
Well, you want woodpeckers.
Give me woodpeckers.
Yeah.
And like,
But
perfect.
if someone's like trying
100%.
to outfit their shop and like make a budget, that would be when it would be a problem.
I need to start charging them because I talk about them all the time. It's like any press is a good press.
I know, but are people going out and buying them then? They're like, oh, you know.
I tell
no,
them,
I mean,
hey, look,
like
if
if
you
you
wanna
can
spend the
afford
money,
it,
you're gonna
that's
get the best.
awesome.
Yeah.
Did they ever go
All
on
right.
sale? They never go on sale.
I don't know.
Okay.
So when we go to the big box stores with their children, how do you get out of there with a reasonable amount of time?
I'm sorry, what was this?
Creeker Dudes. I do not take
We
my
don't take
kids
kids.
to
We take kids
the
very
depot.
few places.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they want to go. Our kids don't want to go to big box stores. They've been too many times, I think.
Yes. Katie said Katie said going back and watching videos of me without a beard is too weird. She has to watch them twice just because she's so like startled by me without a beard.
It definitely timestamps it.
Rick, Beth has been here for a while, man. Rick, she's been making you clean up the dishes, or what?
That's right.
He's on the couch cooling off after working at the shop.
Oh, well.
I get that, man. I get that. Hope the shop went well. As a British person, there's some YouTube channels I can't watch because the fact that they refer to everything by their brand name is really, really off-putting.
Oh,
that's
here?
interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
I guess but if you,
Well,
if
you're
you're
not
used to it
used
not
to it.
being like that, yeah, yeah, that is interesting.
like
though.
as they're talking, they're like, my Mirka Sander.
Yeah,
you know?
and I do
you
that.
see that?
I do it on occasion because the thing is I think so. Just to give the other perspective, animation is that as a content creator, we get those questions all the time.
Yes.
What is this? What sander is that? What saw is that? And so I think a lot of people do that
Just to head it off.
literally just to like tell people
Yeah.
what they're using.
Because we have
because not everybody's and I would say, in the most part, in our space, the majority of people are probably not getting paid to do that. Like I'll say my Mirka sander. I think Mirka doesn't pay me. Mirka did send me the sander, but like they didn't say, hey, you have to call it a Mirka,
Right.
do that. And like I don't.
There's no strings attached.
Yeah, there was no strings. Like there's no ongoing relationship. That was years ago.
You just really love it.
Exactly.
Right?
And
I
so
think
I'll
it's
be
like with anything. If
this
you
thing's
love
awesome.
it, you kind of want to talk about it
Right.
too.
So I mean that's a great example. Then like the flip side of that, like my Craig stuff. So I am on a yearly contract with Craig, and so I do that as you can call it an obligation, but as the partnership, right? Like I
part of the
want to.
contract,
Yeah. No, that's not part of the contract.
That's not part of the
No,
contract?
definitely not.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? You do what then?
Like call it by name. So if I say, hey, use my Craig
never mind.
Foreman,
I
or
thought
use
you
my
meant, like,
Craig.
never mind.
Because it's, so again, all contracts are kind of different, and just a little inside baseball on that. So my deal with Craig is just like, I'll use your stuff. And I don't even know if it's, cause, I mean, I can't really talk too much about it, but it's very, I've been working with Craig for years. And it's just a great relationship. Like I love the products, they're a
Right.
great company, I love the people there. And so I like helping promote their brand because it's like,
Yeah.
I love the products. And it's one of those cart before the horse type things. Like I was using their products and loved them, and then I got sponsored by them. It wasn't like vice versa. Like they didn't
Right.
come and be like, hey, we'll give you money to use our stuff. Like that's not how it worked. And that's not how it works on most things. I mean, like mid-roll stuff, of course. Like if I'm saying,
Right.
hey, Bill's Insurance or whatever, like, they probably came and paid me. But
Right. But that's how we can afford to make videos. So,
but
yeah.
like for the woodworking stuff, like the actual tools in my shop, almost all of them, I can't even really think of any ones that I'd not, I guess and that wasn't even paid. So I can't really think of anything that I was not using in some form or fashion before I started doing. The X-Carve would be a good example. I wanted one, and obviously it's, you don't just like start using an X-Carve necessarily. It was like, I was like, well, I'm gonna do that someday, and that was the machine I wanted. So I've kind of already decided that I wanted to use the X-Carve versus like the Shape Oko or any of the other little smaller ones, Shark CNC or something like that. And then they reached out to me eventually. Like I didn't even talk to them. Same thing with like Glowforge. I have for a long time. I've been wanting to get a Glowforge, and I was just like putting it off. And then like one day they reached out, and I was like, absolutely, let's, I'd love to get a Glowforge and try it out using the channel.
So we're pretty passive, is what we're saying is like.
So I have no initiative. I just wait for people to come to me.
Because I mean, that is like one of the most common questions when I talk to people in real life and they like find out what we do for their living. They're always like, well, how do you make money? And I'm like, and like it's complicated. It's not that complicated, but whatever. It's multifaceted. But then they're like, well, how do these, like, do you reach out to these sponsors? They're like, nope. Like, I mean, not really.
Speaking of.
We really haven't.
We haven't. There's, coming up this week.
What?
There's going to be, Chuck is going to make an appearance.
It's good, guys.
For
what day, when? Do we know?
I think maybe not overseas, but maybe.
What?
Every single person will know this brand.
Oh, no. I think they would know it overseas.
A huge brand.
I feel like it's everywhere.
It might be. I think.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. For better. I've just seen it everywhere.
I think they have more retail locations than anybody.
Yes.
Potentially.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Because I feel like I've seen it
But
when we
anyway,
traveled.
we're doing an ad for, and that just, it came through to me, which is awesome. And like, I love this brand. And so I was like 100%. And it's just like, has nothing to do with woodworking, but it's just funny. And they've got a whole big ad campaign going on. So we were like, absolutely, let's do it because I love the product, I love the brand, and it's fun. So we get cool opportunities like that. So we'll talk about that next week after it comes out. We'll see if you guys pick up on it. But it'll be on Instagram and TikTok. So keep your eyes out, and you'll know exactly when you see it. Scott, you know you've reached the big time when you become a Starbond affiliate. I tell you what, Starbond has got to be the most diligent brand of any brand ever.
Really?
I mean,
what is Starbond?
Starbond is, and see, look, now they're going to get their, and they've never paid me. They just send me stuff like the CA glue. Which is great stuff, right? I mean, it's great stuff. It's a very small, I mean, I assume it's probably I don't know, it's family owned, but it's a very small company. I mean, their like lineup is not very big. Because I always ask them, I'm like, you guys got anything else? It's like, well, we pretty much got CA glue. I'm like, I can only use so much CA glue. But anyway, I mean, she kind of like the gal, I mean, it's got to be like, she's got to remind me, like she hits me every month. Hey, do you need new CA? Like honestly. She contacts me more than anybody.
You do like CA glue.
Combined.
Really?
I do, but I can only use it like every single time. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need. I mean, they sent me maybe I don't know, $50 or $60 worth of product. So like amazing. Love getting free stuff.
Right.
But like there's no, and again,
if we
no
have
strings
a CA
attached.
glue emergency, we are set.
Right. But man, she is just on it. She just contacts me just like, you need any glue? You need any glue? You need any? And it's like, I want to be like, look. Don't call me, I'll call you. But like, I appreciate it. Like I appreciate that's the
super
hustle,
nice.
man. And they're just like, gosh, they are all over it, man.
That's funny.
They are, I mean, which is fantastic. Like they're a brand, knowing what they do with stuff. Got a little super sticker from Ripcord, a little coffee, $1.99. Thank you so much, Ripcord. Appreciate that. Ripcord, not
Ripcord. I think you said from Rick. Sorry, I can't see the screen.
It could be
here.
Rick. She can't
sorry,
read
Ripcord.
anything.
Thank
all
you
right.
for the correction.
And he come on. He said it's been so long since I caught a live. Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome to the party.
And he also says need to invest in a roofing nailer. Just finished a roof with a 2016 20x16 workshop. Ooh, congrats on the workshop, by the way.
That like makes me break out into hives just thinking about. I do not like heights. Yeah. But I appreciate people that do and will go up on roofs because I will never ever let him do it. Yeah. That was an early conversation in the marriage. We'll tell a funny story sometime about that. But not right now.
Not right now.
I'm just saying. Like,
Will, have I got to use any of the new jet equipment I got? I have used the planer and joiner a little bit, the helical. I haven't had a ton of woodworking projects on raw lumber, so I've not used them a lot. They're good so far. The one thing I do not like about the planer is how slow it is. It's so slow compared to the benchtop. The benchtop planer was 26 feet per minute, I believe, and this one is 20 feet per minute. And that doesn't sound like a big difference, but if you think about it as a percentage, that's like over a 25% drop. That's 6. Well, it's just under 20, so it's like 22 percent drop.
Oh wow.
Something like that. And so like you put it in, it's just like.
So it's because of the helical head or what?
It's just because the motor, the feed, it's at a fixed rate of feed.
Oh.
And it's 20 feet per minute. And almost all benchtop planers are either like 24 or 26. And so like going from a 26 to a 20 is just like, shoot me in the face.
Jeez. Dramatic.
It's first world problems. But
I
but
guess
it's
if
like,
you're used to,
if you're
used to a certain speed, and then suddenly you're not.
Think about it this way. If you're planing a whole bunch of wood,
Yeah.
and instead of taking you an hour, or let's go, and instead of taking
will
you an
be a whole
hour,
bunch
it
of
takes
wood.
an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing it
that's-
professionally, although maybe
Right.
you have a
Well, that's
different
what I'm
one.
saying.
I don't know.
If
Like
you add that up over
it
time,
would cost you money.
100%.
Yeah.
And so I am not a fan of that. Will, I do not have a Craig discount code. I do not. I have an IsoTunes one. That's I think, and a Total Boat one. Those are the two ongoing promo codes I have. So if anybody wants $10 off of IsoTunes or 15% off Total Boat, just let me know.
Which I'm now a convert. I wear my ISO Awares.
Oh yeah, she's got the new IsoTunes.
They're great.
The Aware.
I love them.
I didn't really like that functionality because it's not great when you have a constant. So if you're not familiar, they are a sponsor. IsoTunes Aware.
Which is not why I use
There's
them,
the
though.
Aware, and what it does is it allows you to have the earplugs in, but then it's actually like the reverse of noise reduction.
Yeah.
It amplifies, so you can hear people talking, but then if there's like a rapid, loud noise, like a hammer hitting something, that it picks it up and immediately
I didn't know
cancels it
that.
out. Yeah, that's what it is.
I thought so what
And so, and they
I thought
do
you
it.
had to just adjust it down.
No.
Good to know.
But but it doesn't do well if it's like windy or if you have a dust collector going. It just kind of
Like that background noise.
Yeah. Again, it's like almost the reverse of noise canceling. So in situations where this would be really handy, would be like if you're roofing a workshop and you're doing the bump fire, pop, 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 like it would dampen all those and you wouldn't hear it. But then if somebody's like, "Yo, Jimmy," then you'd hear them. So it's pretty cool.
For me, I like it because whenever I would have my AirPods in, which died eventually, I mean, because that was probably my fault. But
killed them.
I did kill them on accident. But I couldn't hear, like, if my kids were calling my name or if Brad needed me. And so that wasn't great. And then when I go on walks, like, and this is something that you probably don't get, but as a female, I like to be able to hear, like, nothing has ever happened, but I like to be aware of my surroundings. I think it's very smart. And so I don't ever want to have something where it's so loud that I couldn't.
Aware?
No, seriously. I mean, like,
I guess that's why they call them the Aware.
I know. Like, so now
That
I
makes a
can
lot
go
of sense.
walking and like listen to a podcast, but I have the thing turned up. So like, I can hear better actually. So if somebody were going to like walk up to me, I would hear them. So I like that about it.
Ripcord coming in now with a super chat question. I love it.
Man,
He's just
love
like,
it.
I'm getting my questions to the front.
That's right.
I'm gonna throw $2. Hey, look, you pay $2. I'm going to answer your question first.
What's the question?
He said, "What did you think of the Loki ending?"
The Loki. Oh,
What did you think of it?
it was a cliffhanger, right? I'm trying to
It was
remember.
definitely a cliffhanger.
I feel like
We don't want to spoil
during most of
anything.
these. I
I thought it
asleep
was
a lot.
amazing. I thought it
I
was.
can't remember how it ended. Let me think about it.
There was-
I know you can't say anything.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say without. I definitely don't want to spoil. That was probably my favorite
Yeah.
of the series so far for Marvel. We're just watching What If. I'm kind of. I don't like. I mean, I like the acting of, because I think Marvel's got such good actors.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing. I mean, like Robert Downey Jr. You got Tom Hiddleston. Like I love that. I mean, and even Chris Hemsworth. Like he's one of my favorites. So I really enjoy those. But like that ending and the Loki, and then what was the
Other
gal's
Loki.
name?
She's a Loki as well. But
But she had a name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Not Cindy Levy, something Cindy. What was her name?
We don't know. I don't know.
It definitely wasn't Cindy. It was something E, like
Eve?
no.
Evie?
Evie, kind of
Taking
Evie,
a shot.
something like that. Anyway, absolutely
She
love
was
that
great.
series.
They were
And
both
I
so
thought
good.
the ending was awesome. I thought it was cool how they
Did things.
they set it up for the next series, right?
Yes.
So it's like, oh my gosh,
But I
what's
didn't
gonna
like
happen?
the fact that like no, we have to wait. I mean, but But like,
what's the girl's name?
one of the things that we really enjoy about these series is like, I mean, Loki died in the movie series, so you kind of think like, okay, we're never going to see this character again. But no, we get to do that. And
Sylvie.
Oh, Sylvie. I was pretty
Yes.
close. So it's so smart to be able
J-Man's
for
Nerdy
them to
Dad.
have that like ongoing content.
It's so good.
So
And
smart.
they're coming out like all the time.
I know, it's crazy.
I am so excited for just like a bunch of them that I've seen. But like Hawkeye looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look good.
That one looks really cool. Thor, I think Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be an actual movie.
Yeah, that's
But
what
the
I believe,
Doctor
yeah.
Strange, I'm really excited about the Doctor Strange, which is going to be a series.
We're excited.
We love Benedict Cumberbatch, so
Yes.
all right, let me go up. I'm missing a bunch of
I
questions.
like the first one though. I like the one. What was that one?
Did Chuck get a Walmart sponsorship?
Chuck and Walmart would be
Chuck,
fantastic.
yeah, that would be.
I don't know if
the one
that's
I'm
really
aiming
the
for,
image
Chuck
that
and-
Walmart would want to portray.
Yeah, that's
But
true. But
maybe,
you know,
who knows?
but it was not.
can keep him classy.
It was not.
It was not Walmart.
It was not Walmart. No.
I mean, if Walmart were doing something with us, we'd be like,
Yeah.
we'd be screaming it from the rooftops probably. That's pretty cool.
Scott has 175 different Ryobi tools. I love it. That's fantastic.
I'm sorry, what?
He has 175 different Ryobi tools. He said.
Oh, Ryobi. I thought you said rugby. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Yes. I mean, you could with Ryobi.
Hey, what's up, Dee's Room? Everybody is safe and well here. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Any CNC projects coming soon? The I released today. The one I
Yep.
released today, I actually did some CNC work. I made some little custom holders.
Yep. They're looking
You want
good.
to go grab that? It's right there on the floor. I don't know why it's on the floor. The WD-40.
Yep, I will
holder
get it.
thing. So it was kind of a fun thing. So what I've been wanting to get more into CNC, use my CNC more, use my 3D printer more, and then start using the laser. I've used the laser a ton actually, but it's been all pretty much personal. I mean, it's all personal, but not stuff on the channel. But yes, this was
That sounds so weird.
because there's balls in there
Oh.
for shaking.
Gotcha.
So this was the you're right there.
No.
So this was the part of the project that I did today, that I released today for the garage, and like obviously this is like super simple, but I just love being able to like quickly. So I designed this in probably 10 minutes, maybe 15. It cut in 6 minutes. So in 20 to 25 minutes, and then assembly. So let's call it a half hour, maybe 25 minutes to a half hour. I put this little thing together and even made little cutouts for the straws because it's got.
I did not realize you had the cutout for the straw
yeah.
in there. Of course you did.
So it fits like a glove, and then it actually really doesn't. Well, I guess it'll rotate because that rotates. But I just think it's fun. I mean, even it's like, yeah, could I have made this faster just by using a hole saw and all that? Sure, probably. But then I'd have to sand and like, I would not have come up with like those pristine rounded corners, right? They'd be off a little bit and whatever.
This definitely is
It
for someone
scratches
who
the
likes,
perfectionist
That's
itch.
what I was going to say. Exactly.
Yeah.
For someone who has
So
perfectionist tendencies.
big fan
That is a good
of the
thing.
CNC. And
Yeah, that was fun.
I want to use it more. This was just a little thing where I thought, oh, that'd be fun if I could make something myself for that custom.
Customize.
All right, let's see here. We got all these people afraid of heights. Ripcord, he's just rolling. Any new merch coming out? My simple logo shirt needs friends. Ripcord, yes.
We appreciate that. For your
I
shirt.
tell you what, I'm actually really excited about
Yes.
one design for sure. There's more designs.
Multiple though.
But our digital lead, Chris, I don't know if Chris is interested, but we got to get him on like an Instagram or something. Like get him a hand. I mean, I don't know. Again, it's mainly behind the scenes. It'd be better if he was here. That'd be amazing. He
Yeah.
could have it like kind of how Sam does.
So we just need to convince him
with
to
John.
move to Nashville.
Right. But anyway, so he doesn't really share. So you don't get to hear and see much about Chris. Although I talk about him all the time on here, and I try to talk about him in the comments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he does all the editing. But he's also a graphic designer. So he's our first. If you're not familiar with who Chris is, he is our first full-time employee who is not a Rodriguez.
Not related to us in any way.
So he's employee number 3.
Yep.
And he is a graphic designer, and so he has come up with a few designs. And so I showed him a few shirts, and I was like, hey, I want to do something like this. And he's also come up with several spoof shirts.
Yes.
And so we are in the
They're really
process
funny.
right now of finding a new vendor, because the vendor that we're with right now, they're like hit or miss. Sometimes the shirts are good, and sometimes like shirts that I've had, the wash, the print and stuff has come out in the wash. And so we want to give you guys the best quality, right? Like we don't want to have, I would never want somebody to buy a Fix This Build That shirt and then like a month later be like, wow, this is like, that was a waste of $25.
Right.
Don't want that. I want that to be a shirt that you have for a long time and you wear it, and eventually it's going to fade. Obviously, all shirts fade and wear out, but I don't want it to be premature. I don't want that to be a bad taste. So we're looking for a new vendor. We have a bunch of new designs. So yeah, the short answer is yes. The long answer is I'm excited about it. As you can tell, I'm really excited about it. So we'll. So we're going through, so we're about to get to the phase where we're getting in samples from different vendors, and so it's going to be a little bit, but it'll be worth it because there's going to be some really cool, some more Fix This Build That stuff, and then some like just stuff that has nothing to do with Fix This Build That, but it's like fun, and then some stuff that's kind of in between, like some spoof shirts and fun stuff.
So for the man who has too many t-shirts already, you will have even more t-shirts.
Even more.
Yes.
I love it. I love all the
I
love all the talk,
really say
by the
that
way.
anymore
like,
because
I love all the chat. Like I'm like way behind on chat. And I love it.
I can't really say that you have too many t-shirts anymore because it's not like you wear a shirt and tie like for your job.
That's true.
You wear t-shirts. So
let's hear. Oh, people were talking about the Shang-Chi. We might go see that tomorrow actually.
That'd be fun.
We were talking about going to see it, but yes, I've heard it's very good.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good stuff so far.
I think that'd be really fun.
So we may go see that.
That would be so much
tomorrow.
fun. Yes.
Let's see here. Lori Scott, what's up? Just wondered how my son is liking his new bookshelves and desk. Does he have all of his Legos displayed on them? He doesn't.
He has some.
He has the one. So he has a lot of the finished ones. But it ended up. So what we ended up doing is like if you look in the beginning beauty shot, or not beauty shot, but the beginning before shot, there's like all this crazy furniture in there. So what we did is we took it all out, and then like we're going through all the drawers, and those shelves filled up so fast with just like.
And we even got rid of stuff
Because he's a collector, so he's like his dad.
Yes, he is.
He's a hoarder a bit, but he loves like rocks, like science stuff, Lego, origami. So he likes a lot of different things. Magic,
Rubik's cubes.
And so there's a lot of different things, but the main shelf across that main shelf above the desk has his like prize Lego thing. So there's like a big tower there, and then like the Destiny's Bounty. What's the other one?
I don't know.
There's
that temple?
The ship. There's the temple, and then what's on the left? Is it the? It's actually. When I say near and dear, like bring a little tear in my eye. It's one of my
oh my gosh
Lego sets from when I was a kid. It's the spaceship.
He does love that thing.
I absolutely need to do an Instagram on that because it's so fun to see. Not a lot of stuff survived, but there's a few. There's a ship that he plays with in the bathtub sometimes still.
Yeah.
And then there's that and it's a big one. It's like it's like that long. It was like that was my pride and joy when I was doing Lego, and that's probably why it survived. And he's got that right? up there.
Or did you keep it?
She kept it up in the closet.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's fun.
He is enjoying it, and he's using it for origami and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I think he feels very special that he got that in his room.
Rick wore the Mistakes Were Made shirt to the Texas Woodworking Festival. Love it.
Oh,
all right, let me catch up here. Forward. Oh gosh. Well, see that could turn. So we could, if we didn't want to advertise, we could just turn it like that. Animations, yeah. But it's like, you don't want to have a can. Like again, I like symmetry and all that stuff. He was saying about like the product placement. So no, WD-40 and WD-40 did not pay me to do that at all.
They're just things that we have.
They have been a sponsor of the channel in the past and hopefully in the future. But it's WD-40.
And we do like
that's
WD-40.
Just an amazing brand, right? Like.
Who doesn't like WD-40?
WD-40 and duct tape. Like those would be. You just have those two sponsors. That's all you need. All right, let's catch up here before we gotta go. Tommy Hilfiger.
What?
I don't know. I just saw Tommy Hilfiger. Next Level brand shirts I picked are incredibly comfortable. Brian, yes, we love those. This is a Next Level. So whenever you see me wearing a solid T-shirt, 95% chance it is a Next Level shirt because I love the brand because they're just like so nice and soft.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going? The Millennium Falcon. There's so many that I would want to do. Dennis Miko, what's up, man? Have I heard about wick away cloth that keeps the sweat off of you? I have not. I have not. Jeff Yantha, sweet beer can holder. Do I have the beer can holder out? Oh, that would that'd be awesome. That won't fit. Would that fit a beer can?
I don't know, maybe.
Same size.
Oh man.
Now see, that's smart.
That's funny.
They're like, we're gonna make WD-40 the same size as a beer can.
Yep.
I wonder if would it work the other way?
Well, not with the straw. Because you're gonna chug that.
I'm gonna start story. This is gonna be like my can warmer. There you go.
Love it.
That's hilarious. Oh, now that's like I like stretched out the straw and it wouldn't fit.
That's good.
All right. J-Man's Nerdy Dad just bought the garage bundle plans. Can't wait to get organized.
All right.
Thank you so much for your support. J-Man's Dad, Nerdy Dad, and I hope you love it. And be sure to send me pictures, DM me pictures, or tag me, do whatever. If you guys, by the way, if you're ever building anything from plans that we publish, I would love to see them. And if you just like say, oh, hey, thanks at Fix This Build That, I probably won't see that. So at a minimum, I would hashtag, but it's even better if you use the actual tag functionality. So because that way it like stays in my feed. Like I can actually go in there and it shows up. I get notifications on that. I don't get notifications on hashtags, and I do get notifications on mentions that at Fix This Build That, but they fly through sometimes so fast I don't see them. Especially if I have just posted a picture and I'm getting a bunch of comments on it, it only shows you the last 100 notifications. And so if I have more than 100 comments plus likes, it aggregates the likes, but for the comments that each get thrown, it just sweeps out. So I miss a lot of those, and I'll be going back and I'm like, oh man, I missed this. But I would love to see pictures of how you put that in your shop. So be sure to send that on. Awesome. Cool. All right, perfect. Well, I think that does it, guys. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
And enjoy yourself. Be safe.
Yep.
And anybody in the Northeast or
yeah.
Louisiana, I mean, anywhere where the hurricane came, I hope folks are doing well. It completely passed out. I mean, we got a little bit of rain, but that was about it.
It wasn't too bad.
It went, I think, around us, I guess, right?
I think it went north of us.
Yeah.
We got rain, but not like a lot of it.
I'm saying like it went around because it
Comparatively.
ended up in New England.
Right. I mean,
so
yeah, for sure.
So you guys, they're saying FTBT beer koozies.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I have beer of the week. Why in the world do we not have a beer koozie?
Don't know. We don't use koozies a lot, but we should.
We don't, but we should. All right, guys. Enjoy the week. We will see you next Sunday, 8:30. We're going to go ahead and keep that time here for a little bit, at least for now, and get out there and build something awesome this week. All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.